I always thought of what I would have for my last meal. Something that tastes good? Maybe something fancy? But no, I've always thought of something meaningful. Food that I really connect with. Food that makes me feel comforted during my last moments in life. I wonder if death row inmates have pondered such things before. For my last meal, I want lumpia Shanghai, dinner rolls with cinnamon butter, homemade adobo, Jollibee fried chicken, cheesecake, and iced tea.
The origins of the last meal. The last meal tradition goes back centuries, appearing in cultures across the world. In ancient Rome, gladiators were fed scrumptious last meals. The
Buena Libera.
the night before their match in the Colosseum. In 18th century London, well-behaved prisoners were allowed a feast with food and drink and family on the night before they were hanged. The Aztecs, the Aztecs feasted with some of those who were chosen for ritual sacrifice as a part of a pre-execution deification ceremony that could last up to a year. Today, last meal serves a similar symbolic purpose. It's almost paradoxical. Why mark the end of life with the stuff that fuels it? Someone is about to be executed, yet society offers them with one last moment of comfort. This ritual, although small, still acknowledges the humanity of the convicted. Let's dig in. Food isn't just for survival, it's our memories, our identities, and our emotions. The dishes we choose reflect our experiences, our roots, and even our aspirations. For death row inmates, last meals reveal who they were before their crimes, beyond the title of prisoner. So excited. Some inmates request simple comfort foods: fried chicken, burgers, or pizza, perhaps reminding them of a time when life felt simple. This suggests the condemned had sought a last, final, sensual reminder of home before they died, says Phoebe Ellsworth, a professor of law and psychology at the University of Michigan. Most of the offenders come from fairly poor backgrounds. Others choose extravagant meals they never had a chance to enjoy, a bittersweet taste of a life they dreamed of. And then there are those who request nothing at all, maybe as an act of defiance or final detachment from society. Let's take John Wayne Gacy, a serial killer from Chicago, who requested a feast of fried shrimp, fried chicken, French fries, and strawberries. Gacy once worked as a manager of fast food restaurants, and his choice of fried comfort foods may reflect a longing for an ordinary time in his life before his violent crimes. Speaking of, let's stick in this chicken. Then there's Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber, who requested only 2 pints of mint chocolate chip ice cream. The simplicity and childlike nature of his request contrasts heavily with his actions, and it's as if he wanted to evoke a simpler, perhaps even innocent aspect to his identity, personality. Then there's Aline Wuornos, one of America's most notorious female serial killers. Declined a special last meal and instead asked for a simple cup of black coffee. Wuornos lived a life marked of poverty, abuse, and instability. The black coffee could represent her rejection of comfort or luxury, a final statement of her identity as an outlier. My favorite example is Victor Harry Figueroa, who was sentenced to life after kidnapping and killing a physician in Iowa. The night before his execution, a guard noted that he was calm, cooperative, and resigned. Figueroa also ate his final meal, one olive with a pit. The Los Angeles Times reported that he stated that he wanted the fruit of a tree of peace to emerge from his grave. Very profound. Every choice reflects a deeply personal story, a last story told through food. Now, imagine yourself sitting down to eat your last meal. It's crazy, right? There's a strange intimacy to this final moment, where someone chooses what they want to experience one last time before death. Families often interpret meal choices as messages or reflections of the inmate's state of mind. Inmates' meal requests may evoke shared memories or emphasize sentimental values, providing profound emotional weight. Psychologists suggest that the ritual of a last meal provides a sense of control in an otherwise powerless situation. It gives the prisoner one last opportunity to make a choice, to show their autonomy, even when life is no longer in their hands. But why are we so fascinated with last meals? It's strange. On any other day, we don't give much thought to someone else's lunch or dinner. Yet, the concept of last meal holds our curiosity. It captured the curiosities of artists around the world, who see these meals as a window into the humanity and identity of those facing their final moments. Through painting, photography, and recreation, these artists document death row inmates' last tastes of life. I love cheesecake. Oh my gosh. Canadian painter Kate MacDonald approaches her work with a commitment. Since 2006, she's painted the finished plates of last meals, going so far as to cook and eat the food herself. When Texas inmate Cameron Todd Willingham requested a gutbuster, barbecue ribs, onion rings, enchiladas, and a lemon cream pie, MacDonald's attempt to recreate this was an experience. She says, I really have a hard time with ribs now. They stick in my throat. Her commitment gives her artwork a certain authenticity, preserving the memory of these meals long after the last bite. In the UK, photographer Matt Colishaw's series Last Meal on Death Row captures these meals in the style of 17th century Dutch still life paintings, adding an eerie, almost profound qualities to these moments. I think the horror of it is something that's quite compelling. Colishaw says, we like looking at things that maybe we shouldn't be looking at. By involving the elegance of classical art, his photos elevate these meals to a new level, almost as though we're glimpsing at the soul of the inmate. Artist James Reynolds also explores this theme with his series Last Suppers, where he photographs famous last meals in orange prison trays. Reynolds explains, it was only when I saw the finished photographs that it really struck me. These trays and meal choices were almost a portrait of the criminals. Through his camera lens, each meal becomes a symbol, a piece of their story, offering insight into who these people might have been outside of their crimes. These artists remind us that last meals are more than morbid curiosities. They're a form of remembrance in choosing what to eat before the last time, the last moments. Inmates assert a piece of their identity, and these artworks allow us to glimpse into that very choice. A choice to see them not just as criminals, but as people facing the end with one last expression of self. I think that the meal I just ate really, I don't know, it really tells a story. The bread with cinnamon butter, I remember on my birthday, I'd go to Texas Roadhouse and they'd have these amazing dinner rolls with cinnamon butter. Shanghai, it's my favorite childhood snack. Cheesecake, I love cheesecake. Jollibee chicken, oh my gosh. Oh my god, wait. And my mom's homemade adobo. It makes me, I don't know. Maybe eating, if I put myself in the shoes of an inmate, eating the last meal, it's really something, getting to experience one last thing and getting to experience what humans do all the time, one last time. And I really don't think it's a good feeling. Yeah. Oh, so good. Oh. Oh. Alright, that's enough.